Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video. And today I kind of want to showcase the version Z update team building system. This is actually one of my favorite parts of version Z. I think this one might get overlooked by a lot of people, but I love the fact that we now have 50 team slots instead of just 7. And so I thought in this video it'd be very cool. I know I do team building on my channel, and I think a lot of people have liked my team building guides I put out. So what I want to do is kind of very quickly just show you like 30 team builds that I put together. So this is going to be a semi-team building guide. I'm going to talk a little bit about my philosophies, but it's mostly like, let's just look at 30 fun team builds I was able to put together that I think are fairly cohesive and run very well, right? Now, a disclaimer is I'm not saying these are the 30 best teams in the game. I'm not saying that these are the 30 best versions of the teams. I'm saying these are just ones that, with my knowledge and how I like to play the game, these are some team builds I put together. Also keep in mind that team builds will always change based on content. These team builds you're about to see, this is kind of for general content. If I'm going in the Super Battle Road or maybe a Legendary event, I would tweak these. I would lean, if I'm going into a long event, I'm going to tweak it more towards stackers. If I'm going into Super Battle Road, I'm going to put more debuffers on there, maybe dodging units. Like, I'm going to do very specific things. But in general, if I'm just running semi-hard content to hard content, these are general type team builds I like, right? All right, so first team we're going to look at, this is my team Ui Goku. This is one of my favorite teams in the game. Basically, I just run the AGL LR leader on rotation with the int one. I do another rotation with the strength one, and then I run 3 supporters. This team build is kind of the epitome of how I like to run my teams. I like to have 2 main linking rotations with floating support if possible. It doesn't work out on every team build, but that's just one example, right? GT Heroes, another one of my favorite teams in the game. I link up the GT Goku with the GT Vegeta, and then I do the 2 Super Saiyan 4s together, and then I'll float the other Goku, and then I run the 2 GT supports. This team is ridiculous. Very, very good, right? I really still like Strength Cooler. I know he's definitely fallen off a little bit, but he provides like some really good team building options, and I love Strength Cooler because he's good on rotation or he's good as a support unit. So on a team build like this, you've just got all these Friezas that link up really good. You're really free, actually, to pick the rotations you want. Even the int third form Frieza, like ideally he'd be floating support here for sworn enemies, but you run him on rotation with the full power of Frieza, you're going to dominate. So with this type of team build, I would actually float the 2 STR coolers and then maybe the int third form as support. And then like you could say do LR Frieza with physical Frieza and then do like physical cooler with transforming Frieza. Like the Friezas are so cohesive. You can take any 2 units on this team and they're going to link up really, really well. So I think it's a very good, very powerful team there. Dragon Ball Heroes. This team build definitely isn't like the #1 team build. Here's the thing. Dragon Ball Heroes and Crossover got so many units, you literally just look at them and you pick like the rotations you want. So in this example, you could say do AGL Trunks and Int Gohan as a rotation, right? And then I could just throw like the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks with the Trunks. They link okay, but not the best. But the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, I think, is the best unit of the Dragon Ball Heroes batch from the EZA units. So I really, really like him. And then you see, I think Pan on Dragon Ball Heroes is like a must-run support, and then Toe is just a good generic all-type support. But there are other, like I said, look at all the Dragon Ball Heroes units and just pick rotations and make them, and you're going to have a lot of fun, right? This is called Team Vidal. Team Vidal basically is you run her with either Peppy Gales or, in this instance, basically Defenders of Justice. Vidal's a 1-girl wrecking machine. You run 1 on each rotation. You kind of pick and choose whichever Gohan or if you want the Kaba on rotation, but you just support the crap out of her, and she is going to wreck events. Vidal is very good in this type of situation. This one here is Universe Survival Saga. I do really, really quite enjoy Hit. So running Tech Hit with STR Hit is a very, like the Hit and God Goku is a very good rotation. I think floating the Kale, the Topo, and the physical UI are my supporters. And then I would just do like, so that LR Kale and Caulifla, that's pretty much an open slot. But whoever you would want to link up with the other Tech Hit on the other rotation, you just put in that slot. Just pick some powerhouse Universal Survival Saga. Like you could put Jiren there, right? You could put, like, you could just straight up put Ui Goku. The other thing I forgot to tell you about these builds, okay? So you're going to look at some of these builds and you're going to see some glaring omissions, right? So like, this is Universe Survival Saga, so why would I not be running LR Ui Goku? He's probably one of the best units you can run, right? Well, my other philosophy with team building is that I like to kind of spread my units around, so I'm not just running like, because like I could put Ui Goku on like 5 or 6 different teams, right? But to me, that's not as fun. So I like to spread my units around and build teams where I can use different units. So just because like AGL Ui Goku isn't on here, it doesn't mean I'm stupid. I don't realize he's like the best unit in the game or one of the best. It's just because for me, I'm trying to spread out my units and use different units, right? That's all that means. But yeah, you could take this same team and just make a Ui Goku rotation and throw that on there with the hits. That's gonna be a really good team, right? Okay. I really like this. This is a Kale and Caulifla build. And yeah, I just like the Kale and Cauliflas. I like that I can use the TUR of the LR and link them together. I really like the STR Kale linked up with the Tech Caulifla, but then also the leader Kale and Caulifla, like they're really good just as like a stacking unit, right? So I think they're kind of fun. So I did a couple variations of Universe 6 here. This one we would call the Kefla Team, which is more Kefla oriented, where you have Strength Kefla as the lead, focus on getting transformed, and then you're going to link up really well with the Physical Kefla. Basically, the goal is you get Tech Kefla transformed, STR Kefla, and then you got Physical Kefla, and those Keflas are all linking up really good, and you got basically 2 Kefla rotations, and then you're floating the Kale, you're floating the Caulifla. Kale and Caulifla, you could float or run on rotation with Kefla, like they link pretty well as well, right? This is my Pure Saiyans build. Pure Saiyans, by the way, guys, there's just so many units, like, you just go crazy. It's kind of like Dragon Ball Heroes, where I said, just take any 2 units on Pure Saiyans that you know link well together. Pick your rotations, pick your supports. I think this guy, though, is a Pure Saiyan support unit, is going to be really good. So he's a generic support, but Pure Saiyans actually doesn't have like a ton of support options. So I think having this guy as a floating support is really good. You could run him on rotation. He just doesn't link the best with like Super Saiyans, right? This guy I know is dated, but he's actually meant to be a Pure Saiyan support, and I want a chance to use this guy. So the Paragus and Broly I have on the team. And then, yeah, you could do like a Broly rotation. Like, you could do Int Namek Goku with STR Broly instead. You've got AGL Kid Gohan. So the trio, like the 4 units, the Tech Broly, the STR Broly, AGL Gohan, and then the Int Namek Goku, they all like link super good together. So any combination of those 4, Super Vegeta also links really well with them. So like the thing with all these like generic Super Saiyans and being Pure Saiyan, like there's so many possible linking partners out there, right? So yeah, that's just an example of a Pure Saiyans. Here's a Kamehameha build. This is where I got the Int Goku into the equation because he links really good with the AGL Gohan. So you could run them as a rotation. And then I really like Transforming Goku. So I wanted to find a team where I could throw him down. So Transforming Goku's my other rotation. And then here we got 3 supports. And because this particular build is all Goku family, this Zeno Goku is like a must run if you're running any type of Goku family build. So that's my support there. Okay, that's the first set of 10. Let's go through the next set. I am trying to go quick here, guys, so this video doesn't go on forever. Space Traveling Warriors. I still like Bojack as a leader. He's got the same thing as STR Cooler, where he kind of supports. So you can run him as a support or on rotation. I actually really like him on rotation with Int Bojack. This Int Bojack without an EZA, low-key, is like ridiculously impressive. It's kind of an older video on my channel. Maybe I'll link it on here. But I did a showcase with this guy in it, and he actually carried me through the GT Legendary Goku event. Like, he was so good. He got me my Space Traveling Warriors run done. This guy, do not underestimate Int Bojack. If you got him, he's amazing now, and he's going to be even crazier after his EZA, right? And then, like, you can kind of play around. Like, if I want to do the cooler rotation, I can do both the coolers, or I could do a Turles rotation, but they're all also support units, so you can run them as support. So I just kind of like the flexibility of that team. And by the way, watch out for this guy when he gets an EZA. Everyone's going to be going nuts when he gets his EZA. Here is my crossover build. And this is, I really like specifically on the Super Saiyan 4s. So I know that this Int Gohan and this STR Bardock don't have awakenings yet. They should get them next year, but even without them, they're actually still pretty decent. And Broly linked up with Vegeta is actually devastating. Tech Broly is really, really good. And then I just love the idea that I can run the Pan support and this new Trunk support, who's absolutely ridiculous for crossover, right? Majin Buu Saga, we got to get them in here, right? So once again, Buu Saga has tons of like really good options. This is me just spreading my units around and trying to get different units into my builds. So I actually just got this guy to 90%, and I hadn't used him very much, and I actually find him to be quite impressive. And you can link him up with this Goku or keep him on rotation, and this Goku does activate his super attack ability, right? His special attack, I forget what they're called, unit super attack. Yeah, it activates his unit super attack. And then I know this guy is getting definitely aged, but he does link really good with Vegeta when he transforms, and he does still like neutralize your normal attacks very well, and the counters can add up for him. I really like this guy as like a defensive support, and they got their EZA. We all know how good High School Gohan is. And then Tien, since I'm specifically running Buu Saga, I think Tien, he packs a punch for a support unit. He can hit 3 mil plus, so I really like that team there. Hybrid Saiyans, in my opinion, the best defensive team in the game. Basically, a rotation of Kid Gohan with Tech Ultimate Gohan, and then we'll put AGL Gohan on the other one. He doesn't link very crazy with the Ultimate Gohan, but they don't need to. They're going to stack their defense like crazy anyways, and then I just filled it with a bunch of these really good Hybrid Saiyan support units, right? Next, I really love the Goten and Trunks team, and I think Dragon Ball Heroes brought a really key unit for this team. So when I used to run it, like to me, my core is this rotation right here. These two guys are ridiculous. But then when running the other rotation, it was kind of a little bit iffy. Like I would put like physical Gotenks down. I would try like maybe the Tech and Ant Goten and Trunks combo, and they're okay. They just don't hit very hard. But dude, this guy came with Dragon Ball Heroes, and he's absolutely fantastic. So I throw him on the team, link him up with one of these guys, float the other one. We got the Gifted Warrior support. We got the Krillin support. Krillin doing the massive 60% support because we have the Kid Goten on the team. So yeah, very, very, very good there. This one I like to call Team Majin Vegeta. Majin Vegeta is one of my favorite characters in the game. And what you can do with this team is you got AGL Majin Vegeta, who's about to get his EZA, by the way, so expect a showcase on him soon on my channel. Well, depending on when this video goes up. When I'm recording it, he hasn't dropped yet, but the video might not drop for a little bit. And then I actually think this STR Majin Vegeta is really good. And what you do is, this guy's name is not Majin Vegeta, but then he transforms into Majin Vegeta and will link with other Majin Vegetas. So you simply just do 2 Majin Vegeta rotations, a tech one with the AGL one, and then the other tech one with the STR one. And then once again, 3 floating supports. That's kind of the generic way I like to build my teams. Otherworld Warriors, really, really like this team. I know it's only a 150 lead, but I love being able to run 2 Friezas on rotation. You can just transform one whenever you want. They link together perfectly. Then we could run something, I don't know, like a stupid Broly rotation, right? And then we got 3 floating supports. So once again, I know like the Buu and the Cooler are definitely outdated, but once again, this is for general use. If I'm going into hard content, probably wouldn't run it just like this. We have to do a build with Int Namek Goku. So this is our Super Saiyan Legendary Existence build. This team, like you can do just insane combos on this team. So literally I could take this team and just showcase like ridiculous rotations, right? So this rotation of Gogeta and Vegito is probably one of the best rotations in the game. You can run the GTs as a rotation on here. You can run Gohan with the Goku on here. This isn't even talking about like STR Broly. Like STR Broly can be on here. This team has so many good linking options. It's kind of like Pure Saiyans in a way, where just pick your favorite rotations. You wouldn't even have to run support. Like this is a non-support build, unless you're running the orb changers and kind of just saying I have orb changing support. But there's no like key or attack or defense support, and you're gonna link up so good, you're not really gonna struggle for key, right? Here's just like a Jiren build. So basically what you do is you just run a Jiren on each rotation with the topo, and then we've got 3 floating supports. What we do there. This is the Majin Buu build. This is going to get a lot better when we get STR Kid Buu, but we don't have them yet on Global. So this is kind of the build I'm thinking right now. Basically, you've got the physical Buu support. We got the physical. This guy's actually like, he's definitely like aged, right? But this, for like the 50% supports, he actually supports like a lot of the units on his natural teams, right? Like a lot of the other ones, it's like, oh, I'll throw him on a certain team because I have a random, say, extreme AGL unit for Rildo that I can buff, right? But this guy is actually a Buu unit that is buffing a lot of other physical Buu units. So I really like that on this team, right? Okay, so that's the second 10. So that's on the final stretch, right? So here is a Realm of Gods build. And I definitely had to get a build with my Year 5 boys on here. I know the Year 5 guys aren't as good as they used to be, but they're still quite powerful if they get a chance to stack up. And I definitely want a team build with them. Realm of Gods, I love the West Supreme Kai as a support. And I absolutely adore this Super Saiyan God Goku. He's basically a support unit that can shovel out like 4 to 5 mil attack stats. He's really, really good. Don't overlook that. Like on my Discord, when people are doing team builds and I do Realm of Gods, I'm throwing this guy in every team build I make for the people on my Discord. He's really good. And then obviously Ui Goku rotation and then Year 5 rotation, right? This is my Grade 8 power team. Just basically it's the Super Saiyan 4 show. So we got... Basically, you do a rotation of the LRs and then a rotation of the TURs, and then you just kind of float the other ones. This is just a non-support build. I know this guy isn't great anymore, but he'll get his EZA someday. Just a way to showcase like a full Super Saiyan 4 build, right? Here's Team Broly. So you have the option to do this as well. You can run the Int Broly and then STR Broly. So STR Broly won't link with the Int Broly, but you just run the STR with the tech as a rotation. And then you could do the physical one with the Int one, and you just have to float the other Int one. And then we got a couple of support units there. I wanted to really do a team with Piccolo and Nail because Piccolo and Nail are still really, really good. So this is a team build you could kind of do. I know like this guy isn't as optimal. Basically, he's only going to be supporting like this Vegeta rotation, but I could run him on, like I could run this Xeno Vegeta on rotation with say Super Vegeta, and then maybe I would actually float this guy and let him just be key support, and then we'd be floating this guy as well as also orb change support. But Piccolo and Nail is for sure rotation, right? Dragon Ball Saga. So Dragon Ball Saga isn't good right now, but they are getting some help. So lately, if you look, actually 4 of the 6 units are actually good. So this Goku recently got an EZA in Global. He's good. This Bulma is good after her EZA. This Pan is probably the best out of all the Peppy Gal EZAs that we just got. And then they got an EZA, and they're really good on a team build like this. This guy definitely needs an EZA. He's not that great. And then this April Fool's Bulma, I actually really like her, and I think this April Fool's, she'll get an Awakening and possibly an EZA and be actually quite relevant. So I'm excited for Dragon Ball to get more love because I would love a team build like this that I could run effectively, right? Of course, we need the Namek Frieza team. Very similar to my other Frieza build, just you basically smash Friezas together and they link and they crush things. The main thing is that this guy's floating as support, Dodoria and Zarbon are floating as support, and then you would either float this guy or you can run them on rotation and maybe just float one of the AGL Friezas. That's totally up to you there. Androids build. Androids are really sad on Global. This is my temporary build until the tech androids come. But I did want to build where I could showcase that these 2 LR cells is still a pretty darn good rotation. And 21 is really good after her EZA. So there's still some solid units here. They got their EZA, or not they, but this 18. I want to say 18 in Krillin, but it's just an 18. She's pretty good after her EZA as well, right? This is a full Fusions build. So for this Fusions team, basically we can link up some Gogetas together. And then once again, I love this Gotenks rotation. You do physical Gotenks with tech Gotenks. They're sharing, I think, 6 out of 7 links, if not all 7. They're a really good rotation together. And then Pandel will get better after her EZA as like a nice support unit for Fusions. And then we can run Gotenks as a time limit support. And then we've got the Potara to parallel that. So just, once again, run a bunch of Vegito rotations. And then since there are a few Realm of Gods, we can get away with West Kai. And then we can do Supreme Opie of Time. There's another support. Heavenly Events. I just showcased a team build similar to this in some of my videos with Super Trunks. What I'm doing in this build is you can have Super Vegeta there. I just threw this guy on because I really like him. And in long events, like if you're thinking about this guy stacking, this guy stacking, this guy stacking, Vegeta actually can work in slot 3 and just sit there and do his crits and be like defensively okay. And then we'd be floating support here and floating support here. Once again, there are multiple ways you could run this team, but that's just an idea. So there you go, guys. There's 30 quick team builds. Let me know what you think. Hopefully this helps give you some ideas. Let me know what you think of the version Z update. I love it. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all on the next one.